If you're in business, you've probably heard of GoHighLevel for agencies, coaches, entrepreneurs, and more. But it's confusing and you might not really understand what it is or what it does. So in this video, I'll explain very simply what high level is and why people use it so much, and if it could help you start or grow your business. I'm not going to get super technical, but focus on what it is, who it's for, who it's not for, and also, you can try HighLevel for free for an extended period, link in the description. Now that's out of the way, and let's begin. So it's actually pretty simple. HighLevel started as a CRM system to track your leads and your customers. But nowadays, you can do pretty much anything you need using HighLevel. It's become an all-in-one marketing platform that combines a bunch of different tools for your business into one place. You've got things like sales funnels, you've got websites, email marketing, bookings, calendars. You can build out workflows, build automations, and of course, the fancy buzzword, you can also use AI, but also start communities, sell products, build courses, a lot more stuff. It's kind of like a business operating system replacing 30 different subscriptions with one single platform. And that's actually the main reason why people switch. They're tired of using 1,000 different tools and paying for each one and trying to integrate everything with a lot of complexity too. When they realize that, okay, well, hey, I can just run my entire business on HighLevel with everything included, pretty much uncapped. But in the real world, it actually gets even worse. So just think about running a small agency or like a business, right? You would need an email marketing software, which is hundreds per year. You would need a calendar, you need a funnel software, you need a website. That's also hundreds per year. And that is only the start. So even if some tools might be slightly better individually, having everything connected in one place under one subscription is everything. It means fewer logins, fewer things that can break in your system, and just less headaches. And so you can scale your business instead of stressing about, the tech and worrying about that. Now, Lucas, okay, I get what HighLevel is. How does it actually work? Here's how HighLevel looks like. You might start by getting leads, people interested in your business. They might come from Facebook ads or your website or a form or Instagram or even a phone call, whatever it is. All of them get stored in one place in your CRM in GoHighLevel. And they're now in your system, in your pipeline. And that pipeline gives you a good overview of exactly where your leads are in their customer journey and also how you can turn them into paying clients for your business. It might say contacted, appointment booked, or even closed, depending on where they are. And so it's incredibly useful as your company grows, because if you're not keeping track of your leads, you're literally bleeding sales and money. But how do you nurture your leads and make sure that all of this happens in the first place, right? Well, HighLevel has very useful automations. And this is where it gets really powerful. So let's say somebody fills out a form on your website. Then HighLevel can automatically send them a message. It might categorize the lead and also keep sending reminders to book an appointment without you ever lifting a finger. And you can pretty much automate anything in your business. And that is why agencies love it, saving time and also ensuring everything actually gets done, because humans often forget about things. Now, let's talk about the core features, and don't get overwhelmed because HighLevel has hundreds of features. So I recommend starting small with only the things that you actually need for your business at this point. You've obviously got the funnels, the websites, the landing pages, unlimited, so you can build as many funnels as you need. And if you take calls, you'll enjoy the built-in calendar feature. It's very similar to Calendly, which you might be familiar with, but it's free and people can book directly in HighLevel's feature. But one of my personal favorites is going to be the conversations dashboard. So in a lot of companies, you might have different social media channels like SMS, email, Instagram. It quickly gets messy to track who you're talking to and what's going on. But here you can connect everything into one inbox in HighLevel. So you never even have to log into Instagram or Facebook, and never worry about missing an email in your inbox, because you can just simply stay in HighLevel and let everything connect into one place and just have a great overview. And so it's really one of the most practical features, and with automation, it gets even better as you can integrate AI and automation into replies, chats, and all that good stuff. But now let's focus a bit specifically on agencies and why they love HighLevel. Because one of the first type of businesses that you hear about usually when HighLevel is mentioned is agencies. So an agency will have different clients in their business, all doing different things. They might have 10 different clients, And with HighLevel, they can create a sub-account, which is basically like a separated account for each different client, keeping everything nicely tucked in to that account, separated from the rest of the business. So each client gets his own CRM, building websites, funnels, automations for each client individually, and that is really useful. But even better, HighLevel has snapshots, aka templates, that you can either use pre-made or build yourself. So if you build a very good system once for one client, you can duplicate it and use it for your next client, saving you a ton of time and effort in your business. Like if you build a funnel or an automation or whatever you want, and they've also again got pre-made templates that you can plug and play with right away. And again, that saves agencies an insane amount of time, letting you focus on growth and scaling your business instead of, just building everything from scratch every single time. But now let's get straight to the point. Nothing is perfect, no software, and I'm going to talk about some of the downsides of HighLevel. But before that, let's talk about white labeling. Now, this concept of white labeling might seem strange to a beginner or even to an advanced person, but you can not only build things for your clients on HighLevel, but even give them features of HighLevel to them for a fee that you can charge, and you can put your own branding on this software. Like, let's say your client needs a calendar. You can then sell a calendar with your logo and your branding built in HighLevel, and you don't need to build a whole SaaS or know how to code. So it's an easy way to offer more to your clients, charge higher prices, and make them happier in the process. But now let's talk about the downsides. The biggest downside by far of HighLevel is going to be the learning curve. There are an endless number of features, more gets added every time, and so everybody gets overwhelmed when they first open HighLevel, and some people try everything all at once and they get stuck, and a lot of those people quit. But if you take it one step at a time and one feature at a time, it's more manageable. The next downside is that HighLevel is realistically not the best and perfect at everything. Some features are much stronger than others, and that's kind of the trade-off that you get when you have an all-in-one platform. You're saving a lot of money, you're saving time, you're saving mental, stress and just headaches by getting everything in one place. So if there's one or two things missing from a feature, you probably won't notice it, but you might, and that's the trade-off. And also, in general, the UI and the way HighLevel looks is very different from many other softwares. Like if you've been playing around with a simple website builder, it might just have like a few different features on the screen. But with HighLevel, you have to actively go and look for the features that you need because there's so much available and everything is not loaded all at once. So now, who do I think should use HighLevel? Obviously, it's really good for agencies and, coaches, consultants, small to medium-sized businesses. It's not that great for like giant companies or super tech companies. And it's also not that good if you just want to build a website or send like 3 emails, because then you could just do that for a cheaper price somewhere else. But if your business depends on getting leads and following up with them, landing clients, delivering, and you use social media to do so, this is literally like the perfect operating system for your business that you can plug into to grow your business faster with more control, more automation, and less stress and worry. If that sounds like a good fit, you can check the link in the description for an extended free trial, and also check out this video for more on GoHighLevel by me. Enjoy.